You've been lied to. That harmless snack you're munching on could be quietly frying your brain cells like bacon in a skillet. In fact, some of the most popular foods in your fridge right now are chemically sabotaging your memory, mood, and focus. Forget sugar crashes, we're talking full-on neurological blackouts. Scientists are whispering behind closed doors, but nobody wants to tell you how your daily diet is turning your brain into gray mush. Until now. Let's get something straight. This isn't just about losing your car keys or forgetting why you walked into a room. We're talking about cognitive decay, accelerated dementia, early-onset Alzheimer's, all silently seeded by what's on your plate. It's not just the elderly either. Teens and 20-somethings are showing signs of brain fog as dense as a London morning, yet nobody's connecting the dots. Why? Because big food is too busy cashing in on your confusion. So buckle up, because we're about to pull back the curtain on the dirty little grocery list that's draining your IQ one bite at a time. This is your countdown of the 7 deadliest foods for your brain, ranked not just by nutritional nightmares, but by how ruthlessly they hijack your mental clarity. And no, it's not just junk food. Some of these are hiding in your so-called healthy meals, wearing labels like organic or low-fat like sheep's clothing. You've probably eaten at least 3 of them. Today, number 7, artificial sweeteners. That 0-calorie soda? It might be saving you from sugar, but it's charging rent in your hippocampus. Aspartame, sucralose, and their chemical cousins are linked to memory impairment, mood disorders, and even increased risk of stroke. One study from the journal Stroke found that people who drank artificially sweetened drinks daily were nearly 3 times more likely to suffer from dementia. Sweet, right? The irony here is you reach for diet to protect your waistline and accidentally rented out your brain to a neurotoxic landlord. Think about that the next time you reach for a guilt-free latte. What else are we trading for a taste of fake sweet? Stay tuned. Number 6, seed oils. You've heard they're heart healthy, but what they're really doing is deep frying your neurons from the inside out. We're talking canola, soybean, corn oil, basically anything industrial and vegetable-based. These oils are loaded with omega-6 fatty acids, which, in excess, ignite chronic inflammation, especially in the brain. It's like pouring gasoline on a slow-burning fire in your skull. The result? Impaired learning, depression, even increased risk of neurodegenerative disease. And the kicker? These oils are hiding everywhere from salad dressings to protein bars. If your food was made in a factory, chances are your brain's already been marinated in this cognitive napalm. Still drizzling that light vinaigrette over your kale? You might as well be misting it with Alzheimer's starter fluid. But it gets worse. Number 5. Ultra-processed meats. Hot dogs, deli turkey, bacon bits. They're not just questionable heart-wise, they're full-blown brain saboteurs. These sodium-packed, nitrate-laced products have been linked to cognitive decline and mood instability. Why? Because nitrates destroy the gut-brain link, gut bacteria die off, and your neurotransmitters suffer the fallout. Translation: your mood tanks, memory blurs, and decision-making lags like Windows 95. A 2022 study in the journal Neurology even found that participants who ate more processed meats had a significantly higher risk of dementia. A bologna sandwich is now a neurological crime scene. And don't be fooled by low sodium or natural labels. These Franken meats are engineered confusion wrapped in plastic. Still salivating over sausage and eggs? You should be terrified. Number 4, refined carbohydrates. White bread, sugary cereals, pasta, basically anything that turns to glue the second it hits your gut. These high glycemic foods send your blood sugar on a roller coaster that your brain did not sign up for. Spikes in glucose trigger a cascade of insulin chaos, which damages brain cells and starves neurons of their fuel. Over time, this sugar siege dulls mental sharpness and feeds the beast of insulin resistance, a known risk factor for Alzheimer's. Researchers now call Alzheimer's type 3 diabetes for a reason. So while you thought you were fueling up for the day with that buttery bagel, what you were really doing was filing away another chunk of cognitive debt in your neural bankruptcy account. And the most sinister part? The brain doesn't feel pain the way your body does. You won't feel the damage until it's too late. Carbs aren't just empty calories, they're silent brain assassins. Number 3, alcohol. Yes, even red wine. While moderation gets a pass in lifestyle blogs, your brain isn't clapping. Alcohol acts like a wrecking ball to the hippocampus, the region responsible for memory and spatial awareness. Even light drinking may shrink your brain volume, according to research published in Nature Communications. And the blackouts many brush off as fun nights? That's your prefrontal cortex temporarily shutting down the same area that handles decision-making and impulse control. Over time, alcohol erodes the white matter highways that allow different parts of your brain to communicate. It's like turning your mental GPS into scrambled signals. Social drinker or not, ask yourself, is a buzz worth renting space in cognitive purgatory? Or are we just sipping on slow-motion self-sabotage? Number 2, trans fats. Banned in some countries, still lurking in others, and absolutely devastating to your brain. These industrial fats found in margarine, frozen pizza, microwave popcorn, and even non-dairy creamers are engineered shelf-life extenders that rob your neurons of theirs. Multiple studies, including one from the journal Neurology, have linked high trans fat consumption to worsened memory and increased risk of dementia by up to 75%. That's not a typo. These fats harden more than arteries. They fossilize neural flexibility, slowing thought processes and mood regulation. Want a snapshot of your brain on trans fat? Picture rush hour traffic jammed with semi-trailers, and someone cut the brakes. Yet many foods still disguise them under aliases like partially hydrogenated oils. It's cognitive sabotage hiding in plain sight. Ready for the worst one of all? Brace yourself. Number 1, ultra-processed foods. Yes, the Frankenstein fusion of cheap ingredients, synthetic additives, and chemical preservatives found in everything from frozen dinners to healthy granola bars. These products are not just empty calories, they're full-scale neurological warfare. A 2023 study published in JAMA Neurology reported that people consuming more than 20% of their daily calories from ultra-processed foods had a dramatically higher risk of developing cognitive decline. Processing strips food of fiber and nutrients, then replaces them with artificial colors, flavors, texturizers, a chemical cocktail your brain was never designed to metabolize. The result? Impaired memory, robotic mood swings, and a gradual numbing of higher-order thinking, like taking a cheese grater to your frontal lobe. You're not just eating for convenience, you're feeding a cycle of addiction and degradation. These aren't meals. They're edible illusions that hijack taste buds and leave your neurons to rot in the dark. But hold up, what if the cure is just as close to your plate as the poison? Enter the twist. Brain-boosting foods that don't come in IV drips or overpriced supplements. These are real, edible power-ups, hiding in plain sight. First up, fatty fish, the kind loaded with omega-3s, like salmon, sardines, and mackerel. These oily wonders are rich in DHA, a fatty acid crucial for building and repairing brain tissue. Studies in journals like Neurology and The Lancet have repeatedly drawn the line between high omega-3 intake and improved memory, faster processing, and reduced risk of degenerative brain diseases. Think of these as your neural firefighters, dousing the flames of inflammation while rewiring your circuits for clarity. Eat fish twice a week, and you're not just leveling up your IQ, you're flipping the script on cognitive decline. But what's the second secret weapon? That'll make you question your entire breakfast routine. Number 2 on our brain boost list, eggs. Specifically, the yolks once vilified, now vindicated. They're a golden vault of choline, a nutrient your brain craves to produce acetylcholine, the neurotransmitter responsible for memory and learning. Low choline levels have been tied to brain fog, fatigue, and even accelerated cognitive aging. Yet most people don't get enough. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that individuals with higher choline intake performed significantly better on memory and verbal learning tests. So the next time someone tells you to skip the yolk, politely decline and savor that cognitive fertilizer. Still scrambling your mornings with sugary cereal? Time to let go of the cartoon mascots and crack open some mental clarity. But there's one brain ally even more unexpected, and it grows where the sun rarely shines. Mushrooms, specifically lion's mane. This odd-looking fungi might resemble a mop that lost a fight, but inside it's armed with compounds like hericinones and erinacines that stimulate the growth of nerve cells, literally sparking neurogenesis. That means new brain cells, improved cognition, and even potential regeneration of damaged neurons. In fact, a 2009 double-blind trial in older adults with cognitive impairment showed significant improvement in mental function after consuming lion's mane daily for 4 months. But the best part? No side effects, no synthetic gimmicks, just pure, edible brain fuel sprouting from dead logs in dim forests. It's as if the earth hid a neurological miracle in a fungus, hoping someone brave enough would stop microwaving plastic dinners long enough to find it. So now you know the heroes. But what happens when the villains go unchecked? We arrive at the climax, the darkest truth buried in plain sight. The most insidious brain killer isn't a single snack or drink. It's the slow, cumulative death by diet. A daily drip feed of the so-called modern meal plan that numbs you one bite at a time. The real killer? Normalization. We've accepted zombie-level focus, microamnesia, and emotional volatility as just stress instead of red flags waving from neural mayhem. Childhood ADHD spikes, midlife burnout, rising dementia, all rising while shelf-stable snacks dominate our diets. Coincidence? Or are we witnesses to a quiet brain extinction sold in colorful wrappers with expiration dates longer than most relationships? If we don't start asking what's feeding our fog, we may never find the way out. So what's the action plan? Simple. Flip the narrative and take back control of your plate before it scripts your decline. Swap chemical cocktails for whole foods. Crowd out the cognitive poison with foods rich in healthy fats, antioxidants, and brain-loving nutrients. Read every label like your future self depends on it, because it does. Bring your meals out of boxes and back into the kitchen. Because the scariest ingredient isn't MSG or corn syrup, it's apathy. The longer we ignore the connection between what we eat and how we think, the more we risk becoming passengers in our own mental decline. Start now, one bite at a time. Your brain is listening. But before we go, there's one chilling food mystery scientists still can't explain. Why do some people descend into neurodegeneration seemingly overnight, despite perfect lifestyles and clean diets? Enter the X factor, toxins in our food supply we're not even testing for. Neurotoxic mold metabolites, invisible pesticide residues, nanoparticles in packaging. Studies have flagged these contaminants as potential brain disruptors. Yet regulation is murky and research is barely scratching the surface. Could that organic smoothie still be laced with trace neurotoxins hiding behind loopholes? Some researchers fear these compounds bypass the blood-brain barrier like stealth spies, triggering inflammation and protein misfolding decades before symptoms appear. It's the brain's Bermuda Triangle, and we're all flying through it with our tray tables down. So ask yourself, are we being poisoned by design, or just collateral damage in the age of convenience? The final answer may still be sealed in silence, until the next bite. And that's the bitter truth: your brain isn't just under attack, it's under surveillance. Every aisle in every grocery store is a psychological battlefield, where marketing masquerades poison as health and comfort food as quiet torment. But awareness is the antidote. When you begin to see through the glossy lies and crave clarity over convenience, the game changes. This isn't just about food anymore, it's a rebellion against brain decay disguised as normal life. So the next time you pick up a snack, ask yourself not just, is this tasty? But, who benefits if I forget who I am? Welcome to Expose Unlimited, where we don't just eat the truth, we chew through the lies. If this episode rattled your nerves or rewired your curiosity, we want to hear about it. Drop your weirdest brain fog moment in the comments. Was it forgetting your own PIN or putting milk in the pantry? You're not alone. Share this video with someone who needs a wake-up call, and hit subscribe for more uncomfortable truths from Exposé Unlimited. Because when it comes to your brain, ignorance isn't bliss, it's a silent toxin. And trust us, next week's topic dives even deeper into the foods disguising themselves as medicine. You don't want to miss it. So, next time you're standing in front of your fridge, frozen in place, unsure if you're hungry or just tired, remember this: your brain is casting a vote with every bite. It's begging for clarity, for nourishment, for relief from the chemical storm we've normalized. This isn't paranoia, it's pattern recognition. And the patterns are loud. From sugar-laced breakfasts to pseudo-healthy snacks, whispering sweet nothings, it's a cognitive con, and we've all played along. Until now. It's time to feed your brain like your memories depend on it. Because they do. See you next time on Expose Unlimited, where food isn't just fuel, it's a test of truth. Oh, and one last thing. If all this sounds like fear-mongering, good. Fear, when it's justified, is fuel. We're not telling you to spiral into paranoia or live off kale and regret. We're telling you to wake up, look deeper, and challenge the fake health narrative spoon-fed to us since childhood. Your brain is the command center of your life. Protect it like your future depends on it, because it does. Until next time, keep questioning everything, especially what's on your plate. Expose Unlimited, signing off for now. But your next meal? That story's just beginning. And before you click away, here's your final challenge. For the next 24 hours, track everything you eat, then ask yourself if each bite served your brain or sabotaged it. This isn't just a video, it's your call to awareness. Because if your thoughts feel scattered, your focus thin as air, and your memory like a scratched CD, it might not be burnout. It could be breakfast. Rewatch, rethink, and reload your plate with intention. Because the war for your mind doesn't start in a lab, it starts in your kitchen. Until next time, stay sharp, stay skeptical, and stay hungry for the truth. And if you made it this far, congratulations. You've dodged distraction long enough to absorb the one thing big food hopes you never fully grasp. Awareness is dangerous to systems designed for your sedation. The goal was never just to inform you, it was to arm you. What you eat shapes how you speak, think, feel, and yes, even how you dream. So take this knowledge like a torch in the darkness, and light up the next label you read, the next aisle you wander, the next meal you make. Because being awake doesn't come from caffeine, it comes from consciousness. And from here on out, that's your real superpower. See you in the next exposé, warrior. One last thought before this episode fades. To black your brain isn't asking for perfection, it's begging for intention. You don't have to uproot your entire lifestyle overnight, but every informed choice is a step away from mental erosion and toward clarity. So don't wait for symptoms to scream before you start listening to the whispers. Your next bite can either numb your mind or nourish it. Choose like your memories depend on it, because they do. Until next time, this is Expose Unlimited, cutting through the static and serving up truth, one brain cell at a time. And that's a wrap, but is it really the end? Or just the beginning of your brain's rebellion? The next decision you make in the grocery aisle, the next recipe you follow, the next craving you answer, these are votes. It's for clarity or confusion, for lucidity or slow decay. Don't just eat to survive, eat to remember. Because what we normalize today becomes our reality tomorrow. Stay alert, stay questioning, and remember, if something has an ad budget bigger than your annual salary, maybe it isn't food, maybe it's bait. See you next episode, where the truth has no expiration date.